Hello everybody and welcome to the crazy world of online insanity, and on this video I'm going to talk about the crazy right-wing insanity of Alex Jones and how he was booted off several different social media platforms recently, and how there's a new protest building to get him booted off of Twitter too, because Twitter didn't follow the crowd. They didn't do what the social justice warriors wanted them to do. Even though other channels, apparently I've heard Vimeo kicking him off or have kicked him off already, Twitter haven't, as of yet, as of reading this, as of thinking this. Is he still there? Who knows? But say what you like about Alex Jones. He's caused controversy and he's had a lot of enemies beat him down recently. Alex Jones spouts a lot of nonsense. Some people call him an actor. He's basically a front man for a load of rubbish to sell online, really. Yes, he has his crazy moments. Yes, he talks about he's pro-Trump. But is that enough to get you kicked off a platform these days? Your politics is enough now. He's not going out there saying kill all the immigrants. It's not hate speech, as it were. It's just could be classed as hateful in some eyes, but really his stuff's just nuts, over the top nutso stuff that you can just ignore quite happily. Yes, he's got a lot of subscribers, and this is what's scaring the people who are behind this. He's all about conspiracy theories, and what has happened today? A conspiracy. Well, a couple of days ago, a conspiracy. They got together all the different, loads of different social media platforms and booted him off the internet. He's gone on to BitChute, from what I've heard, and other platforms. But yeah, kicked off, and other platforms are following suit because they're weak and feeble, because they're all scared of being seen to be bloody ads. I don't know. Scared to being seen as not in the right political culture. Of course, he seems to have been kicked off just before American, is it midterms? I think it might be midterms. So they don't want anything that could be construed as pro-Trump dominating the headlines. So it all stinks, really. I don't agree with anything he says, but where he goes, all of our channels going to end up going, because anybody who dislikes and hates anybody else's videos, anyone else's channels, will be able to come along and complain and get people kicked off as often as they possibly can now. But, as you saw by the headline, he's still on Twitter. He's still on Twitter. Even though this bloody site's terrible. First of all, they go on to say, Jones' supporters will have you believe his recent removal from other platforms is an act of censorship and a violation of First Amendment rights. That's simply untrue. Yes, it is totally untrue. You have freedom of speech. I have freedom of speech, but I only have freedom of speech on these platforms while these platforms allow me to, because these platforms are private companies. As private companies, they're allowed to let you or anybody else on or kick anybody off if they see fit. It doesn't matter about any conspiracy theories that you may say that this is about, that kicking him off for political reasons. It looks exactly like that, but they have every right. They can kick me off any second. I've only just started. They can kick you off if you've got your own platform, selling beads if they don't like it. They can do whatever they want. I'm free to say what I want. Jones is free to say what he wants, but where you can say it depends entirely on these platforms. So there are no rights violated. Twitter has made the opposite determination about this. It's simple. He hasn't violated our rules. Twitter has basically gone like, why should we care what somebody's saying or doing as long as they're not breaking any of our rules? He's basically saying stuff that the present social justice control of the media doesn't like. Well, when somebody says something you don't like, you fight against it by arguing with them and undermining them and finding reasons why they're idiots, why their stuff doesn't work, why this shouldn't be listened to, why your argument is better than theirs. You don't ban things all the time. You don't try and wipe them out because you can't argue against it. If you can't argue against it, your arguments are useless. What you've got to say is nothing. Try and find an argument to fight against. Don't block and ban. Grow up. So, Twitter, I've basically gone like, no, we're leaving him. But really, will Twitter keep doing it? Because ultimately it's a business like Facebook, as it says here. Money matters. We've promoted tweets, hashtags, accounts, etc. And users have control of what they see on Twitter. So they can block. They can block all the ads as well from the people that you're promoting. So a further protest is to try and get him off Twitter is being spearheaded by one Shannon Coulter, an activist who founded a similar action called Grab Your Wallet, which would pressure on companies for carrying Trump-related products. Basically, it's politicism. If you're right-wing, you shouldn't have any rights, is what this person is on about. Because when you're on the left in America, apparently at the moment, everybody is, if you're right-wing, you're far-right, you're a Nazi, apparently, you're fascist, and these people don't know what those things are. They're just using these words because they think they're hurtful, and it seems it works on people who don't really know what those terms ultimately mean. They just know they're nasty terms and the horrible terms. They don't know what a Nazi is. They don't know what a far-right fascist is. If they met one, they'd be terrified. What these people are not fascists, they're not Nazis, but, you know, why get in the way of a good word to drop? Which is exactly what Alex Jones does. But, you know, these people, like Shannon Coulter, are on the right, or shall I say, the left, correct side of the argument. So therefore, they can say whatever they like. They can say horrific things. They can decry people as far-right in things to be banned. And in this time, she's basically encouraging Twitter accounts to block every Fortune 500 company with a Twitter presence on Twitter, to try and make Twitter ban someone. She's not even thinking that one day in the future, once her views are considered too extreme by some of these platforms, if a different regime takes over for these platforms, or people start complaining about what she's saying on a heavy basis, which the right wing of American politics, etc., could start doing, that she could end up being banned herself. But no, at the moment, all she cares about is that she's right and nobody else is allowed to say things that she disagrees with, and she smells blood. So she goes on to tell people how to block, how to destroy him, and how when Twitter drops Jones, when they do, because of course if this works, if enough sheep follow this person, Twitter will acquiesce because money, 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 and they'll drop Jones. And so when they do, she tells you to manually unblock. Ultimately, you might be saying, great, Alex Jones has been kicked off. To be fair, it didn't bother me one way or another. I've seen some of his stuff on TV programs. It makes me laugh. But the stuff he's selling is so overpriced and ridiculous that his followers buy it. But, you know, that's what marketing's all about. That's what selling things are all about. Buying things, selling things. And if you're selling them at a higher markup and your followers are buying them at a higher markup, brilliant, you're making a profit. That's what that sort of thing's all about. And ultimately, that's what this front man does. So, what's wrong with that? He's not selling stuff that's dangerous to people. But his viewpoints, they are considered dangerous to the left. And at the moment, the left in the media, most of the media, is the thing that are the ones that hold sway in the media. And because America has lurched very, very much to the right with the Republicans and Trump in politics, the left are fighting back the only way they know how, through the media. But they're undermining everything. They're undermining people's trust in news. They're undermining people's enjoyment of movies, of television, of comic books, of anything, because they have an ideology they want to push over. They want an ideology they want to imprint on you. But that is not a fascistic thing to do. No. What the right are doing is what the left are doing isn't. The left are doing the right thing. They just don't see that they're just destroying themselves and destroying their media culture at the moment. So what do you think? Should InfoWars be kicked off Twitter? Or when will InfoWars be kicked off Twitter? And will InfoWars be kicked off every single social media platform? I reckon this won't be the first big, huge casualty, and I believe that at some stage, all these people on the left, like Shannon Coulter, will start being hoisted by their own petard and end up being banned themselves for whatever reasons come up. Because, as we know from the James Gunn thing, the right can fight back, and the right will fight back. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you for another one. Bye now.